to the metro was killed in a wreck Saturday night in Smith County. The Highway Patrol says that happened shortly before midnight on Highway 18 when a Jeep Wrangler driven by 29-year-old Christopher Westbury of Canton ran off the road and flipped, and the boy died in that wreck. Another child was also hurt in the wreck. The Jackson Water Authority bill has made its way through both houses of the legislature and may determine how your water system is governed when the third-party manager system is over with. But WLBT reports the bill is now in conference committee for all of the snags to be worked out before a final vote. The scene on I-20 in Warren County Monday morning was an unpleasant one for people trying to get to Vicksburg from Jackson. A log truck lost its load all over those westbound lanes at the Highway 61 Rolling Fork exit. It took several hours to get that woodsome mess moved to the side. Deputies on the coast may have caught a creep at the Mississippi Welcome Center where they say the man had videoed a woman in the restroom there. 27-year-old Dalton Curtis of Alabama was seen by the woman and caught by her husband, who held him until Jackson County deputies got there. They say Curtis also had child pornography on his cell phone and charged him accordingly. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios in good old Flora, Mississippi, at the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Some exciting news over here at WYAB. We have a new show starting next week. General Bob will be handling the 9 to 10 hour right here on 103.9, your favorite radio station, at least your favorite talk radio station. And he will be getting his message out. He is going to be buying and selling. You can call in and tell him things that you have that you want to sell. And he is going to advertise that for you and find you a seller. At least that's what he is going to attempt to do. So I'm excited to listen to the new show and see what that's all about. It's going to be interesting, I am sure. It is Tuesday. Normally it is Pour It Out Tuesday. We normally have our Tuesday co-host from Women's Wellness itself, Miss Morgan Charlie here, but she is on mission today. So she's actually in Boston. She is in Boston at a conference and she is learning all the things about hormones and hormone replacement therapy, all of the newest and latest technology so that she can come bring that back here and share it with all of us. And of course, share it within the clinic, Women's Wellness. If you guys have not been over there, I'm telling you, you are missing out. Everything you need, especially for women, right there under one roof. You've got your GLP-1s, you've got your weight loss, you've got your hormone replacement therapy, you've got your general wellness, you've got your aesthetics, your skincare, all of it. It's all right there, right there. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you have not made an appointment and been in to see Morgan over at Women's Wellness. Men, I always say this, but I think it is so true. It would be the greatest gift if you have a birthday or an anniversary. Obviously, Mother's Day is coming up. Your women will love you if they receive a gift certificate to Women's Wellness of Mississippi. And we are thankful for them for sponsoring the Lindsey Beckham Show. Good time last night out at Representative Lance Varner's farm, the Barn Burner. We heard from Willie Simmons. We heard from Attorney General Lynn Fitch. We heard from former Speaker of the House, Mr. Philip Gunn. Saw Representative Fred Shanks out there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I was trying to hunt him down so I could pick at him about how this debate's going to go Thursday. Obviously, we are on opposite sides of a school choice debate that will take place Thursday evening in Pearl, Mississippi. There will be 5 on one side of the room, 5 on the other, and we will be telling you all the great things that school choice will do, and they will be telling you all the lies that it will do awful things. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just like to mess with Fred. He is my friend. But yeah, had a great time last night. Saw lots of people. We heard from Whitney Lipscomb, several other Ag Commissioner Andy Gibson was there with his beautiful wife Leslie. So a great time was had by all. They had some great fried catfish and fried chicken. And in Mississippi, those are the things that we love the most. Moms for Liberty is celebrating their 5th anniversary this year. We established this organization in January of 2021. I joined shortly thereafter in May. So just a few months after the launch of this organization that has grown leaps and bounds. But the reasoning behind starting an organization like this was because parents felt like their rights were in jeopardy. Their rights were being violated. So many things happened throughout COVID and the pandemic, or if you want to call it that, I'd like to call it more of like a plandemic or scamdemic. But a lot of parents realized things that were happening in their public school system. A lot of parents weren't okay with those things. We weren't okay with our schools being shut down, the forced mask mandates, seeing our kids with headaches, not feeling well, being sick. It was all too much for a lot of us parents. And so this organization was born. And the purpose is to defend parental rights and to teach others how to do that at all levels of government. Now, I had the honor of going over to Melbourne, Florida, and being a guest on our co founder's podcast, The Fire of Liberty. And one of the questions that she asked me was, where did the advocacy start? Where did it start? What lit that fire in you to speak out about things that you care about? And for me, and I think much like others, it started when I saw something happen that I didn't agree with, when I saw my child injured, when I saw my child hurt. And so, of course, I did a deep dive into the things that I knew hurt him, and then I started to speak out about those things. And I don't think a lot of people realize this simple fact. Government did not give us our rights. Therefore, government cannot take them away. And that absolutely includes our parental rights. Every single one of us is born with inalienable rights given to us by our Creator. God-given rights, not government, God. Now, what we have seen transpire in this country, especially since COVID, is that so many parents' rights have been trampled on, or at least that is what has been attempted. So it might sound hard to believe when I tell you that there are schools who will call and report parents for child abuse or child neglect, even when they know that it's false, even when they know they are committing fraud, yet they do it anyway. I think that's a really important issue that we need to look at and change. That should not be allowed to happen. I understand that not all parents are great. I get that. But that's why we do have laws to protect children. But when parents are being falsely and fraudulently accused of neglect or abuse, then we have a real problem here. When a government system such as a public school thinks they can override a parent, it's an issue. It's a big issue. Now, there were two bills this legislative session that I followed very closely, besides the school choice bill. We're not going to talk about that today, which is obviously very important. If you are reported to DHS or CPS or whatever it's called in your state, you're stuck. You can't take your child and leave that school who made those false allegations. And normally there's no recourse. So the two bills that I was looking very closely at this legislative session was the school counselors bill, first of all, because what that bill was going to do is remove Mississippi school counselors from having to follow the guidelines, the ethical guidelines of the American Counselors Association. This is so important because parents are not allowed to know when the schools are socially transitioning their children, when your children are going by different pronouns, different names at school, and they don't even reach out to let you know. They do it behind your back. That obviously did not make it through. That bill was written by Senator Angela Hill, passed the Senate committee, passed the Senate floor, went over to the House where there was a strike all put into it in order to put the teacher pay raise language back in action. Unfortunately, we lost that bill and that language that would stop school counselors in the state of Mississippi from having to abide by those American Counselor Association ethical guidelines. That's a big deal. The other bill that I followed really closely was the bill that would actually punish these people who make these false fraudulent claims to Child Protective Services. I am very happy to say that Governor Reeves signed that bill into law yesterday. It has made it through both sides, both chambers, and now to the governor, and it has been signed. So I would think long and hard, folks, before you pick up that phone or you get online and you make those false claims about parents, because now there's going to be a lot more recourse than there ever has been before. Something to think about if you're one of these sorry people who think it's okay to lie about parents. If you think we don't have them right here in Mississippi, you're dead wrong. Well, South Carolina took it a step further. In South Carolina, there are teachers reporting parents to Child Protective Services for medical neglect if parents don't go along with the lies that your child was born in the wrong body. If you think this can't happen to you, I promise you, you are wrong. If it can happen to this family in South Carolina, it can happen to you as well. So back in February of this year, this teacher filed a report labeling this boy, this young man, a transgender female. And he accused the family of medical neglect. This family was investigated on Valentine's Day weekend, and the case was closed, marked unfounded in 5 days. So this mom says that for over a year, she knew something strange was happening at school. There were patterns, coming home in different clothes. Last year, a teacher actually called the mom, and she let this mom know that there was a South Carolina law that required schools to notify parents when students express gender identity confusion. I think that's very smart because what we know is that this is a mental illness. Gender dysphoria is a mental illness. It always has been. And we have seen such a rise in numbers of school shootings and mass murders by people who call themselves transgender. So this teacher did the right thing. She called the parent. This family took action to get their son help. She was concerned because this was the only teacher who had reached out. This past February, she got her son a haircut, and he was very upset about that. He wanted his hair to look like a girl's hair. So this teacher who filed this false report sat with him for 10 minutes while he told her these things, that his parents won't let him have long hair, that they don't approve of him identifying as a girl. That teacher never called. Instead, she filed this report. They alleged medical neglect. They claimed that this child was coughing up blood. They weren't getting him medical care. They alleged mental injury because they didn't affirm his gender ideology, because they didn't go along with a lie, because they parented their child instead. They made allegations that they made him do manly chores, such as cutting grass. The day after they showed up to investigate this family, they took him to the doctor. They got a chest x-ray. His lungs were clear, and he had never coughed up blood. They had already been getting this child gender-related counseling dating back to summer of 2025. They were actively addressing these struggles. They were engaged and involved parents. Of course, that is exactly what was seen when this family was investigated. Now, of course, this family refused to send their child back to the school who's been secretly facilitating this gender change for over a year now. They filed formal complaints with the school and with the South Carolina Department of Education. The principal responded in writing back in March, and this is what she said. The report was appropriate based on medical neglect suspicion. The case was closed unfounded. The state of South Carolina found no evidence of neglect, yet the school is still calling it appropriate. The principal also wrote that staff receives gender identity training and that the school followed applicable South Carolina statutes related to gender identity. There's been more than 25 days since this mom filed a complaint, and nothing has been done. No recourse, no action, nothing. I fear this is where Mississippi is going to get in a lot of trouble by implementing these mental health evaluations to our students. It is not the government's job to decide if my child needs mental health services. That's my job. And in fact, the ones who do need mental health services, such as these children who struggle with gender dysphoria, instead, you want to turn around and blame the parents for not going along with a lie. What world have we woken up in? What kind of twilight zone is this? It's crazy. We got to take a break, but there's lots more to break down here. I want to talk to you about Oklahoma. What's going on over there? It's just as bad, if not worse. And if you think it can't happen right here in Mississippi, I promise you, it most definitely can. Stay with us. We'll be right back here. WIAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. It most definitely can. Stay with us. We'll be right back here. WIAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show.
.1039 WIAB.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our Sweet the Swamp Pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crack, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun craving. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a Sweet the Swamp Pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Here's John and Corey Ravenstein to announce a very special bridal event.
If you're getting married soon, I want to personally invite you to Juniker's annual Bridal and Wedding Ring Show.
It's going on now through Saturday, April 4th at Juniker Jewelry Company.
Come shop the largest selection in the state of diamond engagement rings and ultimate wedding bands from our top designers.
Buy your diamond engagement ring during the show and get up to $500 credit towards both of your wedding bands.
Buy your wedding rings and enjoy free engraving inside your rings. And free layaway until the wedding with no finance charges.
Plus, enjoy 12 months, no interest financing for qualified buyers.
Save some money.
Upgrade that honeymoon.
The bridal and wedding ring event at Juniker Jewelry Company.
3 big weekends now through Saturday, April 4th.
We'll see you there.
Juniker Jewelry Company. From anywhere in Mississippi, we're at 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and online at junikerjewelry.com, Mississippi's direct diamond importer.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosalesllc.com and browse our inventory and get pre-approved for zero-down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Back with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crack, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios right here in Flora, Mississippi. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I am, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Our Tuesday co-host, Miss Morgan Charlie, is out today as she is in Boston learning all the new things that she can bring back and share with all of her patients over at Women's Wellness. 601-879-0002 is the number to the station if you would like to call in today. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you would like to add to this conversation, 601-879-4648 is our text line if there's anything that you would like to text in to the show today as well. So I was talking about what has been taking place in South Carolina, this family that has been fighting DHS investigating their parenting because allegations of medical neglect were fraudulently made by a teacher where their child attended school. Obviously, their child is no longer in that school. And can you blame them? I don't blame a single parent that won't send their kid back to a school after such a traumatic event as cops or Child Protective Services or the Department of Human Services showing up at your door unexpected with false claims. I mean, I almost think you'd have to be insane. I almost think that we should probably question your parenting skills if you chose to send your child back into that sort of environment. Who would? What loving, caring parent would send their child back into the belly of the beast? I know I wouldn't. I won't. Over in Oklahoma, I have a friend who went hunting with his dad during fall break, okay? He killed a deer. He took a picture with that deer and the gun that he killed the deer with. Next thing you know, because of a call made by the school counselor, there's a knock at their door. Their son is taken, placed into a mental health facility. They are stripped of all of their firearms. Complete and total tyranny. Because someone saw a picture on Snapchat of this child with a gun sitting next to his dad on fall break with the deer he killed, and they felt uncomfortable. I'm telling you guys, this is happening. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds unbelievable, but it is happening. Even more recently, another friend of mine, Dana, over in Oklahoma as well. She is the mom to a 17-year-old son with autism and also cancer. Chronic myeloid leukemia, a slow-growing form of leukemia, more prevalent among those with autism. You're not going to believe what they did to this family. They medically kidnapped this 17-year-old, took him from his family, who had sought medical care in the way that they saw fit. You hear me reference an over 100-year-old Supreme Court case, Pierce versus the Society of Sisters, often because I think this case is so prevalent in so many situations concerning parental rights today. And what the Supreme Court ruled was that a child is not a mere creature of the state, but that it is the fundamental right of the parent to direct the upbringing of their child as they see fit. So the Oklahoma Department of Human Services took this minor autistic child away from his parents into emergency custody back on October 3rd. Where his medical condition declined rapidly. The family had chosen a more holistic approach to treating his cancer, and it was working. In fact, he was cutting grass just that day, outside cutting grass. So now this family has had their child basically kidnapped. They don't know what type of medical care is being administered. They see his health rapidly declining, and they have no say-so in it whatsoever. Again, this child was mowing the grass when the Department of Human Services first showed up and knocked on this family's front door to investigate medical neglect. The court chose not to acknowledge the fact that he was taken unlawfully, and instead there has been an appeal, and he was forced to remain at Oklahoma Children's Hospital under their treatment plan, not his parents. A reasonable person would assume that he eventually would be free to go home and the nightmare would be over. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They continue to hold this little boy hostage, saying that removing him or questioning the current treatment plan would bring a new accusation of abuse against his mother for operating against medical advice. How is this allowed to happen in the United States of America? How are parents' rights being trampled on and ignored and violated? I can't imagine how violated these families must feel to have someone beat their door down and take their child from their home because of false allegations of medical neglect or child abuse when that's not the case. It's disgusting. And there's no recourse for parents great enough to fix what could be harmed in the time when their children are away from them. Train up a child in the way he should go. That's what we're told. That's what the Bible tells us to do. That's what God tells us to do when he blesses us with children. There is no place for the government when it comes to my parenting. My rights do not stop at the classroom door, and I do not co-parent with the government. And I'll tell you what, I'll be damned if I let anybody tell me otherwise. We got to take a break, and I'm getting fired up over here. Y'all stay with us. Lots more to talk about. And I want your opinions. What would you do? What would you do if CPS or the police force shows up at your front door when you've done absolutely nothing wrong? What would your response be? I'd love to hear it. We'll be right back here. WIB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back here. WIB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Stay with us.
103.9 WYAB.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crack, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun craving. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Right here in our backyard, sellers trust Purple Wave Auction to move their equipment, from excavators and ag equipment to trucks and specialty trailers. Our no-reserve online auctions help local sellers turn iron into opportunity. You get a dedicated territory manager who knows your operation, your market, and your timeline, backed by nationwide buyer demand, local service, national reach, real results. See why more sellers choose Purple Wave. Visit purplewave.com to get started today.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
CBS News brief. No relief for travelers stuck in long airport security lines. This woman's at the Nashville airport.
Everybody gets so mad in a line, and it's like too much stress and everybody around you. And then I think everybody hypes everybody up, and they're upset and they're waiting.
Senators are working on a plan that would pay TSA agents. Iran still showing firepower, missiles hitting several Mideast countries, including Israel. CBS's Chris Livesay.
The aftermath of it was apparent as the sun came up. We witnessed not just the interceptors, but the missiles that got past the interceptors in Tel Aviv, striking residential areas.
A new study finds the pandemic had a big impact on young kids' attention spans and self-control. Harvard professor Stephanie Jones.
Elevated parental stress, economic instabilities, illness. People were sick and afraid and worried about getting sick. Lots of social isolation.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
It's road trip season again. Is your vehicle ready? Take your vehicle to Green's Tire and Auto on Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland to get it in tip-top shape before you head out of town. Don't get stranded while you're away from home. Preventative maintenance is their specialty at Green's Tire and Auto. And if your check engine light is already on, then Green's Tire and Auto can tell what's wrong and get it fixed. Before you start your road trip, take your car to Green's Tire and Auto, Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
Looking for farm fresh produce, high quality local beef, dairy, and desserts? Look no further than the Farm Store in Flora. We've got the sweetest, juiciest fruits and vibrant vegetables from Two Dog Farms, plus premium beef, all from right here in the community. Whether you're cooking up a feast or just grabbing a healthy snack, the Farm Store has got you covered. Freshness you can taste, prices you'll love. Find us on Facebook at The Farm Store by Two Dog Farm.
Would you like to get the hell out of your life? If you do, we can help. Listen to life-changing stories of faith from ordinary people. Our guests share how they discovered hope, freedom, and God's amazing grace, and today are living a life of freedom with purpose. The show is called Get the Hell Out of Your Life with your host, Ron Myers. Heard every Saturday morning at 7 and 7:30 right here on 103.9 WYAB. It can also be heard on your favorite podcast platform.
Not again. Time to call that big faceless company. Let's see. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for more waiting? Seriously? I'll be retired before this copier gets fixed.
Why wait on hold when you can have local service fast? Advantage Business Systems will fix it today. Real people, real service. None of the runaround. Visit absms.com. That's absms.com. Advantage Business Systems. Stop waiting.
We are back here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. You are listening to The Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Shout out to Clay Edwards, our 7 to 9 a.m. co-host, wearing his FAFO merch today because I feel like I'm in a kind of FAFO kind of mood talking about this subject. You know, in Mississippi, we have laws, and those who report child abuse or neglect can be in one of two different categories. There are mandated reporters, and then someone else who is just concerned, who's not a mandated reporter. Now, teachers and anyone within the public school falls under those mandated reporters. So it is the law that they must report any type of child abuse or child neglect. The other group of non-mandated reporters have always had the ability to anonymously report child abuse or neglect. So let's talk about that. No longer are you free to report anonymous false claims, knowing they are false. Not even if you are a mandated reporter. If you knowingly, as of this bill signed into law yesterday by our Governor Tate Reeves, if you knowingly allege child abuse or child neglect, you could do some jail time. You could have a fine of up to $5,000 and imprisonment in the county jail for up to 1 year. Even if you anonymously report false allegations, if it's proven that you knowingly made false, fraudulent allegations, you are also subjected to this punishment, this year in jail, $5,000 in fines. You're no longer protected by this word anonymous. Because when it's proven that you made these false allegations, not only are you facing jail time and a large fine, but you also could be required to pay back Child Protective Services and the family you harmed, who maybe had to go out and hire attorneys to defend these false claims. That's the part of this that I've never been able to get my head around, is that while you might not like someone or while you might not agree with their parenting, to knowingly report something false takes away the services and the resources for these children who are actually being abused and are neglected. Do you have no moral compass whatsoever? You don't care that there are children out there who need these social workers to be investigating actual real claims that aren't false? How dare you? How dare you? And then what about the trauma it causes children who aren't being neglected or abused? When they're questioned by a stranger about something they know nothing about because it's false. A lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people don't believe me when I tell you this, but it is oh so true. Child Protective Services can show up at any school right here in Mississippi where we are, pull a kid from class, question them, ask them whatever they want to, scare the living daylights out of a kid. And parents never have to be made aware. They don't even have to call you and let you know. Fact. I think that's disgusting. I think that's awful. And I look at the situation and I can understand why it was written this way, why our laws were written this way, because we want to protect those children who are actually being abused or who are actually being neglected. But also the way that it was written makes it very easy to take advantage of this system in place here in Mississippi. And trust me, it is very much taken advantage of and has been for quite some time. I'm hopeful the new law that our governor signed yesterday that will go into effect July 1st will at least majorly cut down on these false claims being made against parents who you just don't like for some reason. I don't think I could sleep at night. I know I couldn't. I know I would not be able to close my eyes and rest well at night knowing that I had caused someone so much hurt or pain or trauma, especially the children in the situation. It takes some kind of despicable human being, a very sick, evil person, to think it's okay to do something like that to a child and to a family. Again, you don't have to like the way I parent. That's okay. I don't have to like the way you parent, and that's okay. But if a child is not being neglected or harmed or put in danger, you have no right to make such claims. And parents, I just want you to know, I want you to be aware that it does happen. It is happening. Not just in South Carolina, not just in Oklahoma, not just in Wyoming. A friend in Wyoming whose child was moved out of the state by the child's father. It gets a little more complicated in those instances, but by the father to New Mexico, where that child could transition. You know, how do you fight that with your ex-spouse or with your child's father? My friend, Chris Elston, Billboard Chris, he helped a man in California whose wife did the same, who wouldn't let him see their child because she wanted to make this 2-year-old into a girl. He was not a girl, he was a boy. And oh, my heart bleeds. Oh, how my heart aches for those people that are put in that situation, whose children are being taken from them unlawfully under the disguise of medical neglect, which is clearly not happening. Medical neglect is putting your minor child under the knife to have their bodies chopped up in order to make them look like the opposite sex. That's not just neglect, that's abuse in every way, shape of the form of the word. To cut off body parts. And then for the other parent to have no say-so in it. It is a sick world we are living in. The devil is in the details. He is alive and well, and evil is roaming this earth after our children. Someone said it in the comments a minute ago, and they're so right. I say it all the time. It was one of Hitler's favorite quotes. If you can control the mind of the youth today, then you control the world tomorrow. But here's what I do know. In the end, evil never wins. I know that. I hope all of you do too. Evil never wins. We got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up on this Tuesday afternoon here at WIB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Tuesday afternoon here at WIB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show.
1039 WYAB.
Are you looking for a church family to connect with? One that will provide opportunities to grow in your spiritual life, as well as a chance to serve others? First Baptist Flora may be just the place for you. We're located at 102 Jackson Street in Flora. To worship with us in person, we have a traditional worship service that begins Sunday mornings at 8:30. Then our life groups meet at 9:45, and the Refuge Contemporary service begins at 11 a.m. We also have a midweek service every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So come join us at First Baptist Flora, where we're making much of Jesus.
As Christians, it's our calling to be faithful to Christ and obedient to the Great Commission. Our heart's desire and prayer to God is that through our efforts, many would receive and rest upon Christ alone as he is offered to them in the gospel. I'm David Strain, Senior Minister at First Presbyterian Church of Jackson, inviting you and your family to join us as we strive to fulfill that mission. We're located on North State Street in Jackson. Times of our services can be found at fpcjackson.org. You can also hear the good news about Jesus Christ each Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1039 WYAB.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Since 2012, Brentech Solutions has been keeping Central Mississippi businesses connected and protected. From secure data backup and cloud services with Synology to reliable network design and maintenance, servers, and business Wi-Fi, Brentech truly does it all. Brentech is your Ring Pro partner and smart home automation solutions provider. Brentech can handle Microsoft 365 support and even Starlink. Visit brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. IT solutions that work.
Grizz Nation, your Memphis Grizzlies tip off a 6-game homestand on Wednesday, March 25th, with a division showdown against the San Antonio Spurs. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Don't miss this midweek matchup presented by Ortho South. Get the best seats today at grizzlies.com/tickets or at the FedEx Forum box office in Memphis.
Got electrical problems? Marty Cowden and Cowden Electric are here for you. Cowden Electric is your trusted electrician serving the Jackson area for 3 decades. Electrical repair, service, and home rewiring are just the start of what Cowden Electric can do. Cowden Electric also installs generators to keep your power going when everyone else's lights are out. Plus, LED lighting, remodels, new construction, no job is too small. Visit CowdenElectric.com today to see all that they do. Cowden Electric, powering your home and business.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We have only about a minute left, but just wanted to remind everyone this Thursday evening from 5:30 to 7 will be the ultimate school choice debate. I know I've talked to you guys about several of those. I myself debated Nancy Loom a few weeks ago. Last week, my good friend Leah Ferretti had a debate over in Tupelo. And this Thursday, right here in Pearl, Mississippi, there will be the monster school choice debate. 5 on each side of the room. Those in favor will be Representative Jansen Owen of District 106, Leah Ferretti, who's the director of Mississippi Ready, Russ Latino of Magnolia Tribune, Gerard Gibbert, who's a business leader and talk show host, of course, myself with Moms for Liberty, facing off against Representative Fred Shanks of District 60, Nancy Loom of the Anti-Parents Campaign, Darian Spann, Jamie Creel, and Marielle Long. You do not want to miss that. Again, 5:30 this Thursday in Pearl at the Pearl Community Room or the Gold Room. Not sure where that is, but we'll figure that out and tell you. Same time tomorrow. See you then. Bye.